Now today, singer David will be back in court. This is day 3 of his preliminary hearing.
Yesterday, day 2 in court for singer David Burke included testimony and evidence about his business and earnings. Forensic experts also took the stand. Inside the Hollywood home where David was staying, investigators found blood evidence in the garage, on an exercise mat, on a Tesla charger, and in an inflatable pool. The victim's family is expected to attend today's hearing. The proceedings are scheduled to resume at 9:30 this morning. Attorney Rachel Fiset has been following this case since the very beginning. She joins us now with her insight. Thank you so much for being here, Rachel. And yesterday there was some heavy focus on forensics, as we were talking about, in the blood found around Burke's car and in his home. What is his defense now going to look for through all of this? Because we were talking about this yesterday. What is the actual defense here as all of this evidence starts piling up?
We are not going to know the defense in the preliminary hearing. The defense will be developing through the preliminary hearing, because while this is a procedure that allows the judge to move this case forward and the DA establishes probable cause, it's also a procedure where the defendant learns the prosecution's case. So right now they are learning the prosecution's case, and again, they are setting up various challenges to the evidence and how it was collected. They raised that a Caltrans worker did not have gloves on when he picked up her passport card in a field in Santa Barbara, and there's various different things they will start to pepper through, and they have been peppering through this entire hearing relating to collection of evidence, collection of DNA, collection of the blood, what the procedure was, where they tested, why they would not have tested the outside of the Tesla and only the inside of the Tesla, things like that. They are raising various different issues on very detailed things, really setting up, just trying to get some of this evidence out, but we still don't have a reason why the blood would be there if this murder did not occur.
Right. And also yesterday, they were really focused on his finances and his relationship with Celeste Rivas Hernandez. This is day 3 of this hearing, as we said. Is it typical for it to last this long, or are we just noticing because this is such a high-profile case?
There is, again, mountains of evidence they are trying to get through and determine what to use here, and the special circumstances. So 3 days is not unusual. Okay. I think it will be a bit longer, just to get through what they want to get through, to 100% attempt to solidify that this case will go forward with all the charges and special circumstances. The focus on finances was focusing, really going to the elements of that special circumstance that he killed her for financial gain. So they had to establish his finances and what his future might look like, that he would have a motive for killing her in case she was attempting to destroy that future.
You said it could go longer. There's some reporting that it could be finishing up today. Is there something prosecutors need to hammer away at, since this may be near the end?
I think they are there, so they could wrap it up probably almost any time, but they want to finish the story. They want to make sure they've hit all 3 special circumstances. I think there is a little more to do on the investigation circumstance, and that he knew that there was an investigation, because that is, again, a special circumstance, making the murder go to a life without parole sentence or the death penalty. So we might hear a little bit more about the investigation today into when she was missing, into statutory rape. But they are methodically taking the judge through a lot of evidence that it is hard to dispute that this case should move forward.
Absolutely. And when we talk about forward, what's next after the hearing is over? Of course, we're talking about possibly a trial.
We're talking about possibly a trial. So he would be formally arraigned on the charges that stick, which I'm guessing will be all of them at this point. Then they start heading to trial. They start making motions relating to evidence. If they found that the prosecutors did something wrong, we're going to see all of those motions start to happen. And I think they will also try to delay the trial for as long as possible, both to allow for negotiations between the defendant and the prosecution if they should want to negotiate a plea agreement, and to get through that mountain of evidence.
All right. Well, Rachel, thank you so much for being with us. We'll continue to follow this.